like, how much do you add to your program each year? Like, I know maybe when I was in high school, you didn't have a TV productions, and maybe that was something I was interested in. So, I mean, how open are you to adding new programs to that? And I'll just let you leave it at that.
Okay, thank you for calling.
Yep.
Leighton,
well, I guess, again, that would depend on the demands of the workforce right now. I think that's why they add new programs. And but currently, we're pretty much set as to what we have right now. But not to say that there's always expansion. There's always some potential programs.
Yeah, and let me jump in too. When I was regional administrator at the Hewes Center, we expanded to the small animal science because there was a demand for that. And the demand comes from the community, it's through surveys, the school districts, parents letting people know. And then there was the graphic arts was an expansion program not too long ago. I tried a particular program in, let's see, what was it called at the time? Had to do with airplanes and that sort of thing. Aero Tech, I think it was, with Joe Minorovich over at the airport. It never took off at, ooh, that was a bad one. It never, cheapers. It never took place because there wasn't enough interest in it at the high school level, but JCC took it over, and so now there's that piece. So hopefully that answers your question. There is opportunity for expansion in the tech programs, but it has to work financially and all the numbers and that sort of thing. Okay, let's get back to our little scenario where now the student is signed up, ready to go. They get on the bus first day. What happens then?
Well, he would get over to the program. Often they eat breakfast over there.
Okay, that's important for people to know. Yeah,
you got to feed them, and they'll get into the class with the other districts. The students coming from all different districts, and the teacher will start with the lessons. And
so it's possible a kid from Sherman is going to be in class with somebody from Faulkner or Southwestern, Bemis, or wherever, right? It's just everywhere. It's a nice mix.
Yeah, absolutely. The southern regions, we have all the local school districts melting right over at the Hewes Center.
Okay, so after a period of time, they have their classes and so forth. You mentioned something about the English and the math. How does that work? I mean, why are you teaching English and math? They're getting that at the homeschool.
Well, like I said, in order for the student to get a third English, third math, and a fourth year of English credit for our program, they incorporate that into the programs, and which enables them to get that credit, because in order to graduate, a student needs at least 22.5 credits to graduate, at a minimum of 3 years of math, 3 years of science, and 4 years of English.
All right, so what you're telling me is if you go into conservation, you go into if you go into the health field or culinary arts or criminal justice, whatever, when you're there, you actually get your English and math credits like you would if you were at homeschool?
Yeah, we have liaison teachers that teach math, science, and English, and they will come into the classrooms, work with the teachers in relation to whatever program they're in, and try to incorporate that math or science with that particular trade area.
Okay, true or false? If you're sitting in a homeschool, unless I'm making this up now, let's say you're going to take advanced algebra or trigonometry, and but now you're going to a career tech program. What happens to that stuff? How do they get that? Is it in their program?
Yes, it's incorporated in the program. Trig, the teacher would work with. Yeah, the teacher would work with the.
How's that work? Why would they learn it?
Say, for example, the construction teacher on framing a house, the dimensions and things like that. They try to plan that into that.
See how I led them into that answer? It's applied mathematics. It's applied language arts. It's the stuff of the trade. It's stuff that's meaningful, and I think that's the success of all this. And again, if you've got someone that's in your quality world, I like that term, quality world, their quality circle of life, a young person, these kids can come to a vocational class. Again, it's a choice. They can stay back at the school and go through the usual college prep program. That's okay. But this is another opportunity for getting kids into fields that we sorely need in Chautauqua County, and there's a career path. We're still halfway through the career path, okay? But they're going to get the required courses they need for graduation at the Regents level. These kids are not just like coming through just with any old thing, but they're coming through with a full Regents diploma, And although they're changing the requirements, as our first caller said, that's beyond us. We do whatever they tell us to do, all right? But the kids are getting everything they need, plus the training, the technology, the theory behind whatever their field of interest is. All right, so first year's done, junior class is done, now senior class. What do they start doing then? Is there anything new?
Just more advanced work in the field and higher tech areas, and getting out into the work experience, maybe looking at some 2-year technical schools that they may be interested in advancing their career post-secondary, or they may have had enough and are ready to go out and work into the workforce.
Okay, so it's okay. They can go to work.
Many of them do.
And they're making a pretty good living out of it.
Yeah, and they're getting their jobs often through their work experience program as they're demonstrating their skills to that employer. That's often how they get into that field.
Okay, now this is the piece I want everybody to listen to, because this is the little secret that people don't know about, and I'm going to use one word. No, I guess it's 2 words. Articulation agreement. What does that mean, and why is it so important for everybody to know about this? Because this is huge.
Well, they started that